This is Axel 72 in association with Squared Circle Boxing. Pleasure to be joined again by Ishmael Davis. Ishmael, from the last time that we caught up, there was a little bit of a, I suppose maybe not a back and forth, but maybe a resolution between what was going to happen between you and Keeman Ajako. Going straight into it, what have you made of what he's had to say?
Listen, I like Keeman Ajako. We've done round sparring and stuff. Obviously, it's boxing, so I want everyone. You're never going to see me saying I don't want to fight anyone or whatever is in front of me, I'm taking. But obviously, I respect his decision and what he's saying. He wants to go bigger and better than me right now. Obviously, I'm just coming through. He's on a level where he can say the things he was saying, so I respect it.
And I suppose when you aren't having that fight as an available option quite so at the moment, are you suppose looking around other ones in the division, and I'm sure not too far away now from an announcement?
Yeah, I've got a big announcement coming soon. Obviously, it's not a fight yet, but it's a big announcement. Listen, whoever Matchroom put in front of me, I'm fighting in it. I'm ready to take.
Would you say that with the help of Matchroom, any fight that you're going to get realistically at the current point in your career is going to be a big fight?
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I want, because it gets me up for it, it gets me ready. I don't want no easy fights. I don't want no journeyman, you know what I mean? I'm past that. I want the British title, so I'm waiting for Louis Green and Sam Gillett to fight. I'll have the winner, so, big things, man. I'm ready to do big things for British boxing.
Are you perhaps maybe not annoyed, but just a little bit fed up of waiting a bit so much?
A little, but I thought, March? I ain't been waiting too long. I'm still in the gym. I don't leave the gym. I'll always be ready. Always.
And I suppose is that just credit to you as a person to be able to be so disciplined and not at all blow up in weight or anything like that?
Yeah, man. Well, I think as professional fighters, you can't be blowing up in weight anyway. You should always be ready to go in a camp and lose a bit of weight and get ready to fight. And plus, you should be training all year round. I train all year round, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I like to enjoy going on holiday, do whatever I want to do in between, but my main thing is training every single day, and if I don't train, I don't feel good.
Of course, and I suppose when you speak about the passion that you have for the sport, how important is it for every fighter to make sure that they maintain that passion?
Really important. It's a short-lived career, so while you're in it, make the most of it. Otherwise, you might as well quit, because when you get beat, you're gonna feel bad. So I don't want to be beat. So I do everything in my everything I can to not get beat.
Do you feel like you can sometimes see in a fighter when perhaps they maybe haven't still got that love there for the sport?
Yeah, definitely, man. I've seen it. I've been around a lot of gyms. I've been around a lot of people, and it's hard. It's a tough sport, isn't it? It's tough on the body and the mind. So I've seen people lose love for the sport, and then they get their love back sometimes, or some people don't. But it's a tough sport, and man, only the strong survive, man. Only the strong survive.
I completely agree, and I suppose mentally, have you always had that mental toughness?
Yeah, well, I was fighting before I was a boxer, so I love fighting. I just love it. I love being fit. I love being strong. I love progression. So I'm a driven person. So yeah, I just want to do better and do better every time.
And I suppose, does that mean that you have an end goal, I'm sure, in mind, but is it always mini goals leading up to an end goal for you?
Yeah, I'm definitely I set mini goals first, and then do the little things right. The big things will happen, basically. You know what I mean?
It's a great motto to live by, and I suppose when you look around in British boxing at the moment with this big main event as well, would you feel like the British boxing scene is in a really good position at the moment?
Definitely, and thanks to Matchroom. You know what it is? A lot of the promotions are doing well right now. British boxing is really it's on the rise, because there was a point just before this started happening that it was a bit dipping, and everyone was like, oh, what's going on? And people were going to UFC. But nowadays, there's no one really talking about UFC. It's all about boxing. And that's just world boxing as well. The fights are getting made, and people are getting in there and leaving it all in the ring. And that's what boxing's about. Train hard, learn, get in the ring. Don't be scared to fight anyone, and get in there, make money for you and your family. Do you know what I mean?
And just next week it's the 5v5, and I suppose seeing Queensbury and Matchroom work together, I'm sure that excites you. And do you maybe not look at Queensbury fighters, but now think, the options available to have these big fights out there?
Yeah, of course, man. Listen, I look at every fighter as a possibility, but I'm not scared of no fighters, you get me? So I'm ready to face anyone. And there's a fight that I'm looking forward to on that 5v5, and that's Nick Ball versus Raymond Ford. That is a fight that I want to see. You know what I mean? And Amo Williams versus Hamza Shiraz. That's a big fight, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's a great show, man.
And I suppose when you speak about that kind of mentality of yours, do you feel like that's something that was, installed into you perhaps from your parents or from a young age, or is that just something you've been able to learn yourself?
Obviously, everyone already knows anyway, I've been on a different path before I started choosing boxing, going to jail and being around, the life I used to live before. You have to have thick skin to be living that life, basically, and you have to adapt. So I'm just a strong-minded person, man. I'm just a strong-minded person.
I've got nothing but respect for that. And is there any message that you could give to somebody who is maybe in a position where you once was?
Where what?
Where you once was?
Have faith, find something you love, and put your all into it, and the rest will happen.
And I did want to ask you about your nickname. Where did that come about from?
My trainer, Keith Walton. There's a lot behind it. Obviously, there's Black history, and then there's the Black Panther, the guy out of the movie, the animal, the courageousness, the just fighting for what you stand for, basically. And yeah, man, that's just what it's about.
I feel like a boxing nickname has to be able to describe the fighter, and I feel like that definitely does that for you.
Definitely. It does, man.
And I'm going to ask one final question, which I always like to ask. Other than, of course, getting the big wins in boxing, which is, of course, probably the best part for everybody, what else would you say is your favourite part of the sport?
Is it what? Favourite part of the sport? Just seeing how people's life change. Because no one sees what goes on in the gym. Everyone just sees Instagram photos or sees them, talks to them, or asks for a photo. They don't know how hard it is. Not the dieting, the rest, the training all the time, the niggles you have, the aching, the money you need, the sponsors. To keep this going, it takes a lot. The mind, and I just like seeing people change their life. You know what I mean? And this is what boxing does.
It does indeed. Appreciate your time very much, Ishmael.
Yeah, man, thank you.